Right to a channel of light fluid. Welcome back to Moonfire, a Seeker's Saga. We're about to do chapter 3 today, and you remember we left Geraint with the dual divines. So, let's pick things up from there and see where we go. Slowly I wake within a separate room than before. My mind ached relentlessly as someone held a cold rag to my forehead. A room of similar size gradually came into focus around me, fitted with wooden cots, shelves and a table at the far end. The windows were clearer here, letting in much more light. What? How did that happen? I look up to see one of the divines and Cameyo sitting by the bed. You shared in the feeling that occupies us all, something I can pass through in a different sense. Like words to tell a story, or a touch to tell emotion, I gave to you what I feel within, a memory. And as memory holds everything, it also dwindles with time. Now that you are awake, 'tis best you get ready. Your friends have waited for you. Come see me before you go, as we have one last thing for you. I turned to Cameyo once the divine left, with a bit of confusion still upon my face. How long was I out? You're out all day and well into the night. Well, you rolled and mumbled a lot, like some constant dream was ailing you. But I'm glad you're up now. We had to stay the night, but thankfully it is still early morn. We'll make haven easily today. I'll go tell the others you're up. With that, I grabbed my things and headed to the other cabin. I felt nervous. There was nothing I wanted to do more than to leave. Everything was the same as I'd remembered in the other room, albeit a narrow box now lay upon a rug in front of the dual divine. They stood with their tails intertwined, an expressive look among the faces. As I approached, they beckoned to the box by my feet. Hesitantly, I kneeled down and opened to see a glorious sword set within a velvet red box. The grip was interwoven with a polished spiral wood, with a familiar-looking gem set within the pommel. Forged from the best of Havenhearth, we set within its grooves a single tree tier. Blessed with Aswin's light, these swords were given to every sage and knight at the dawn of Melanthia. Hold the blade, and feel within you a gift that guides your soul. I follow their words as I pull the weapon from its box. I feel the weight of the sword among my palm. The etching and guard, made of a polished bronze, fit the beginning of a smooth, finely edged blade, practically shone, resembling that of a newly crafted weapon. Among Aswin, I trained two types to wield the arcane. A lunar knight who wields the blade as the paladin, primarily to protect, and a sun sage who will wield the blade as the force for the arcane set within it. Clutch the gift into your chest, will the powers to be, and feel that energy within you. Choose a role. Okay, let's take a look here. Sun Sage is harder, +1 arcane, Arcana, Charisma, so I think -1 HP. Lunar Knight, +2 to Strength Agility, +2 to Camp Press, -1 to a random stat. If Arcana... Okay, so of course the Arcana doesn't affect us either way, so we don't have any. If we take... We could do increase our agility, but if we do that, I think, especially as I'm actually playing this with you watching it, let's go with this more normal thing. Definitely, I think on my own time I will try out the Sun Sage and see how it plays that way. That would be interesting. There's definitely different things I can do with this game, and I'm going to give you one playthrough in the series, and then I will definitely be doing more separately. And if you're doing your own thing, which you should, it's a really good game. You can try different things, and hey, if you are playing this game, you're doing something different to what I'm doing, let me know. I'm interested to hear from people. Put in the comments. Okay, we will choose to be a lunar knight. The lunar knight fights primarily with their sword. They wield magic as a second hand, often with protection spells themselves or others. They can wield magic offensively if needed, but not to the extent of a sage. Fair enough. And there was spirit, which we don't have any arcana, so doesn't really apply, but you get a +1 to a single stat. Permanent buff, nice. So we are going with the lunar knight. I chose to become the next lunar knight. With no arcana, I could not receive name of spirit. Although power surges through me, great exhaustion overwhelms my body. Oof. -1 agility. Continue obtain. Okay. So we've got 2 points on strength agility. I think we need to bump up our agility now. We just lost one, so boom. There we go. You know, I think with this we should probably bump up our dex agility. I played D&D a lot as dexterity, just to match our strength there, so we're at least somewhat agile. Since we lost 1 point already. With sword in hand, I press it to my chest. I feel a surge once more as the heat that engulfs my body finally seems tolerable. Pleasant, even. Now you can truly bend the arcane. Fight true to Aswin, this gift will never falter. A sudden violence shook the ground beneath us silenced the divines. They held on to the roots while the quake dropped shelves around us. Books and glass shattered among the floor. The divines closed their eyes, remaining silent for a long while as the ground beneath my feet became calm once more. What was that? They slowly pulled their tails from the root and spoke to me with a voice of concern. A soul has passed the veil. Lost in mind like the others. Yet that was the first I felt the quake. It begins. It is best you go now, knight. Aswin guide you. Okay, let's return to Havenhearth. So, Geraint, what will you do now? With your newfound powers, of course. Haven't thought of that yet. Oh, well you should. Or you know what I'd do. If it were me, I'd slay dragons. Hey, why would you kill them? That's mean. Well, what if it's a bad one? The dragons aren't even real. Yeah, afraid of them. Out in the seas of Emir. They what destroyed most of the ships. Ships? Like a big boat, Cameyo. 10 whole boats, you'd have the size of a ship. No, 20. I think you're making things up now. No, really. This went in Haven for a short while. Has no one here seen one? Soma and Cameyo both shake their heads. Come on. Hey, you're from Zemir. You know what I'm talking about. Mayo peers from the side, a soft sigh leaving her lips before she speaks. Yes, ships are real, although only the size of 6 boats at most. See? Wait. Cameyo holds his paw up, halting the group in our tracks. Mayo, recognizing the gesture, instantly crouched with the ears poked high. What is it? Shh. A ghastly beast I'd never seen before erupts from the trees, leaving behind a path of withering plants and bushes, fangs as large as swords jutting from its skull. The beast moved like he was alive, but was riddled with barren, cracked bones. No flesh or meat held it together. It wavered and glared with eye sockets deep and empty. Its cry was otherworldly. Was that? Cameyo is upon us. The beast gave little else for warning as it charges us. As if born for battle, it swipes with fury and rage, first to Mayo, then Soma. Quick on his feet, Soma leapt back into the trees, moving in position to flank the fiend. Mayo tries to block the blow, which simply throws the forest cat to the ground. Geraint, ready yourself. Try to flank here. As the beast goes for Soma, I quickly spring away from view and move in the opposite direction of Mayo as we circle the beast. Once we meet on the other side, we both pounce the beast with our weapons. The beast attacks me. Its claws rip deep into my side. HP left. Try and swipe at its legs. Someone distracts the beast as I rush its side. I grab my sword tightly with both hands and swipe low across its legs with all my strength. I can feel the bones of the beast crack as it tumbles. Soma and I pummel the beast with our weapons before it rises again. The beast swipes at Mayo, who rolls out of harm's way. Mayo leaps back into slash with her daggers, but the beast appears unfazed by her strike. Okay, we're going to have to attack here, or use a health potion. Let's risk an attack. I wield the divine sword for the first time, hand grasping tightly around the grip. I ready my sword and... Nice. I slash at the beast. The beast attacks me. Its claws rip deep into my side. Okay. Definitely using a health potion here. The beast attacks me again. It barely misses. I ready my sword and... Decent rolls, it's nice. I slash at the beast. The beast attacks me. Its teeth shred my clothes and cut my skin. Attack again. I ready my sword and... Just made it. I slash at the beast. The beast attacks me. Slashes wildly at my chest. I ready my sword and... I know it's only a DC 5, but I'm still worried about this. I slash at the beast again. The beast slashes with fury at Soma, who reaches for his necklace. Within an instant, he vanishes before reappearing behind the beast, free to strike. Soma counters with a swing of his blade. I ready my sword and I slash at the beast. The beast slashes with fury at Soma, who reaches for his necklace, but an instant he vanishes before reappearing behind the beast, free to strike. Soma counters with a strong blow of his blade. Okay. Whittling it down, folks. It's time for attack again. I ready my sword and... Okay, made it. I slash at the beast. The beast attacks me. It barely misses. I'll attack again. Just... I slash at the beast. Nice, 4 HP down. The beast attacks me. Its claws rip deep into my side. Okay, it's got 3 HP left. I think we can risk another attack. I ready my sword and... Wait. I slash at the beast. Yes. -1 HP. Why didn't you just use the treat here? Right now I think I trust my sword more. I trust using magic. That was awesome! First time for everything, I guess. Soma mutters as he dusts himself off. I'd rather not see one of those again. Please. Just as we're gathering ourselves, I hear the piercing screams of death beyond the trees. I turn in dismay to see a dozen more fiends crawling out from the dying trees beyond. They stood howling in horrific unison. I noticed out of the corner of my eye Cameyo clutched onto Soma as his legs trembled. I just had to say something, Cameyo. It's far more than we can handle. I contemplated that we flee, but the speed at which these beasts could run would only mean our doom. Only after I thought we'd met our end, royal guards rush in from behind. From the trees they surround us, putting up shields and arms to protect from the fiends. Cora! I turn to see Cora emerging from the other side of the trees, alongside several others. Every fiend within the forest turns their head and charges them at once. Fender and Cameyo look onward in fear all the while. Cora, look out! A cloaked figure stands confidently by Cora's side, who raises his staff amidst the chaos. Where I stand, I'm far from them and can barely see clearly. It appears that all is lost as the beasts are only meters away. Only moments could pass and they'll surely be devoured. Yet undisgusted wind expelled from nothingness and erupting a cyclone around us. As if we're in the midst of a tornado, debris of all types of vegetation whirls around us violently. I shield my eyes from the grit and dust. I can only catch glimpses of Cora and the strange figure within the storm every few moments. It was surrounded with an orb of some resemblance of an almighty arcane. It thrashes around with a greenish hue that lashes violently out towards the fiends. We're barely able to stand our ground, enduring the winds that whip our clothes and hair. Yet Cora and the figure stand calmly within their orb. The air lay completely serene within their bubble. They were shielded from whatever was causing the upheaval that is nearly lifting me off my own 2 feet. The fiends, unable to reach them, bite and scratch the orb in fury. and just as I think the winds cannot get any worse, the orb erupts, expelling a force so dire that I am thrown to the ground. A nearby royal guard catches Fendir, preventing him from being swept away. Just as the weather calms, sand rains down upon us as the monsters before us are no more. My heart races endlessly as I kneel upon the ground to catch my breath. Everyone else seems to gather themselves as well. Cora and the rest approach us. With her is her older brother, Alakar, Kali, the cloaked figure, and one more. Under the figure's hood I can see the gaze of a fox, with small tufts of a grey muzzle. The staff in his left paw looked to be carved with many intricate patterns. Near the top, the wood thinned to the 4 tendril pillars that snaked around a tree tier at its end. The staff looked well made, but was worn with age, especially near the bottom, as if it used more for a walking stick than a weapon. As for the fox himself, he wore a thick cloak that covered him head to paw. There was a soft blue glow that protruded from under his left sleeve, was hardly noticeable. I almost felt as a reflection of the light from the tree tier, but I could not tell for certain. Near his right side stands another creature, a middle-aged deer, who also wears a long cloak, though not as heavily tailored as his. She carries no weapon and stands impassively by his side. Fendir! Oh, thank Aswin you're okay. Fendir runs up to Cora, hugging her dearly. I'm sorry we did not arrive sooner. Is everyone okay? Yes, thank you. Cameyo slowly stands, wiping away the dirt among his clothes. Yes, but only just. Yes, thank you. I'm happy all is well. I am impressed we found each other here. We got lucky. We're on our way to you, but expected to see you with the Divines. Luck indeed. Mayo looks towards a cloaked fox beside Cora. And with the Seeker's help, no less. The fox before me slowly bows his head in gesture. The Seeker? Ah, yes, you have not met him yet. This is Vodos, Melanthia's Seeker and my mentor. With that he nods once more to me, unspoken. Cora takes a moment to gaze around the clearing before turning to me. Let us head for the traders' camp. I can explain along the way. More experience hopes. So maybe we should at least pop a point in Arcana here. Actually, while I think of it, let's check on our things here. So we have 49 honor, so an experience point. So we're skeptical with belief, kind, and some grim mind. Interesting. So we have a sword, a divine sword, hold up map. And these are very different dice we can use. Let's see what we have here. Nice choices here. So I think maybe we will use these dice going forward, I think. Okay. Well, this is we have here a quest log. So we're in chapter 3. So this is filling in here. Okay, it's the main quest. Still on look at yourself and some side quests we don't have at the moment, but yeah, that's what's going on. I wanted to quickly show you that because I know I said 2 episodes ago we should take a look at the inventory and whatnot. And guess what? We didn't. Because I forgot. Yeah, okay. I've shown you that. Let's get back to the story. Why is it left Havenhearth? After you were the Divines and had not wakened promptly, Soma sent a rider to us. Frankly, I was worried for you, Geraint. So much of what is happening lately is just too much to leave to chance. I begged my mother to let us leave, as I'd hoped that if anything bad were to befall you that I may help. As you're standing before me, I know now that I had right to worry. Where are we going? We're heading to the traders' camp to find affordable mercenaries. The majority of the Royal Guard stays in Havenhearth. Most of the creatures that were with me before were mercenaries from Raven's Hollow, so we'll need a few more creatures if we want to feel safe on our journeys. Is the Seeker coming with us? Unfortunately not, as he has his own business to attend to. We'll be parting ways once we reach camp. What happens now? You are the Lunar Knight of Melenthia, the first one in a long while. And we have a lot to do. Carly would be best to say, as he received the missions directly from my mother. Yes. As you may or may not know, you are officially a member of the Royal Guard. All else you'll protect Cora among her travels. You'll also receive missions from time to time, either from me or Queen Levera herself. Speaking of which, we have two. One, further observe the fiends in the Esera Desert. Is that the beasts from earlier? Yes. They are Esera fiends, demons of the sands, and plenty more where that came from. You'd be shocked to know those are the more passive ones. They weren't passive at all. Hardly. Goes to show how aggressive the real Esera fiends can be. Yes, I know what you're thinking. We need not engage these fiends directly. And the gods, I hope we do not. I just need to see these other fiends in person, see what we are dealing with here. Anyway, on to mission 2. We'll need to take care of some bandits in eastern Melenthia, near the channel. They are a smaller group and should pose no real threat if handled correctly. Any questions? Are these bandits Culven? We aren't sure of that. Honestly, I must say Culvens are no more a no less bandit than any other. Most Culvens were regular bandits to begin with. I think they were named to have purpose. We don't think much more than that. Where did the fiends come from? Yeah, if we knew, we would be going out there to observe them. Any better questions? Good, as I believe we're almost there. The traders' camp hardly changed since the day before. Some noticed our arrival, looking on in curiosity to Prince Alikar, a rare sight to see outside the city walls. It seemed odd as our group felt unsure how to act outside Haven, and the creatures not sure if they'd approach us or ignore us. I overhear two creatures nearby as they continue their conversation with each other. Did you feel that quake from earlier? No, I didn't. Shut the lantern over in my tent, and they caught the whole thing ablaze. And they shook the suns in Esera even harder. I wonder what is happening. This may be a sign I should return to Esera as well. Why is that? I don't expect to be reminded of it, but right before we ran into you, I was headed back from Esera. It would be good if I returned for longer and finished my duties there. But now, the mission. Cora nods to Kali's reminder. We'll not be here long, Geraint. If you can find some creatures to join us, the safer we'll be on our journeys. I should be able to find decent mercenaries here. They'll fight for far less than Raven Knights. I'll look for anyone willing to wield a blade for warm food and a place to sleep. You'll be surprised how many there are. Here, you need friendly payments. Thank you, Cora. With that, everyone disperses within the camp. I look around for a moment. Several guards I recognise stood around a table and cheered with mugs of ale. They were the ones who approached me last time I was here. Aside from them, I see a smaller group near the fire, looked rather worn, armour-wise and physically. Any lingering questions I may have for Cora would be well to ask of her now, or I can just go and see the Seeker and let them handle everything else. Talk to the Ravens. They seem like a decent crowd. I approach the group near the table, and the one recognises me, instantly cheering. Everyone returns. What brings you? I return with Cora. We're looking for some guards to join us across Melenthia. I'm just realised I've got more voices these two had last time. Never mind. Oh boy, after that caravan attack with the prince, you might be a hot target. The first knight nudges a friend. We had to trap the human and prince. Anything beats sitting here. Ah, sure. I'll say you, boys. He turns the other three at the table. They cheer instantly at the proposal. Fine. It'll still cost you then. You aren't an army like Stenmi is, but we'll keep you safe. I have like zero charisma. And honestly, if you're paying for someone like this, I think you want to pay them a decent rate. So yeah, I'm gonna pay him 50 gold. I'll give you 50 gold then. Sweet, count us in. Cheers, I'll be ready to head out whenever you do. So we have 5 Raven mercenaries. Hopefully that helps us. Let's see if Cora has anything else to tell us. I head towards Cora, who turns to me upon my approach. Hey, Geraint, what is it? I want you to talk. I want to know more about the gods of Tavnor. What is it you wanted to know? What is the full story of the gods? Cora points to the skies above. You can always see Newa, and in the day spot Aswin. In the night, among the stars is the bright reflection of fire. As you can see, or rather no longer see, the Cameyo is no more. When Aswin welcomed Uthia and she went in the way, the Cameyo lit with fury. You see, he'd asked Aswin decades before for someone to be his other. The more he asked, the more she would tell him he was not ready, which only angered him more. In his jealousy, he wishes Uthia's children were born unto her. But in their lives they gave no praise to the gods, only her. To them, Uthia was everything. They knew not of the Cameyo. They knew not of fire. Aswin was always there, but they had little understanding. In this growing resentment, the Cameyo cast a hex onto his own brother, Newa, setting forth a magical deceit of madness to spread his envy and hate. Newa, overcome with feelings not his own, felt anger towards everyone. Lashing out in fury, he did so even to Uthia. Upon their quarrels, mistrust grew so great that they destroyed each other with hate, smashing blows into one another, destroying their children and themselves. In the events that happened, Aswin exploded in outrage, engulfing the Cameyo in flames and burning them alive. Amidst the stillness that followed, the damage was already done between Newa and Uthia. Aswin now wept dearly. She resurrected Uthia and Newa and learned from it the consequences of her own actions. For Uthia and Newa were happy again, with the roots of their children to grow once more, but the Cameyo's hex lingered within them still. The Cameyo yet lived with the ticking clock to the day it could happen again, that Uthia and Newa would be overcome with hate. Every day Aswin will pass by Newa to watch in fear of her children, in hopes the evil could be rid. It is up to us, her children, and Uthia's children, to show decay is no longer within our hearts. I know that is a lot. But you see, this is why we give thanks that we are alive and must follow the path of light. To show as we are no longer corrupt and can rid the cycles of unholy intervention. I want to start with the beginning. At the beginning there's an empty void, filled only by the first ones. Aswin in her light is the only one we know. She is the mother of all existence, and with her she created 3 sons. Newa, sovereign of impulse and rage, but also protector, who watches and guards. The Cameyo, sovereign of jealousy and mischief, and Fire, sovereign of dignity and silence. When Newa, the oldest, came of an acceptable age, Aswin opened her arms to the veil of the void beyond, welcoming Uthia into her midst. Melanthea is our true mother, as our flesh and blood comes from her. She is our world we walk upon. The seeds of her conception with Nail bore the growth of the first world tree. There used to be many among Tavenor, so said our ancestors came from the Forsaken Lands. This is where the first tree grew. Now only one world tree lives, on the border between Melanthea and Damaski in the Forest of Fae. But that is the beginning of our lives and theirs. Okay, we kind of talked about the beach before. That was everything on my mind. That sounds good, Geraint. I enjoyed our chat. Don't forget to see the Seeker, and then we should soon be ready to leave. We've got the ravens with us. We paid them 50 gold. I think that should be enough to be going on with, I think. Let's just have a quick chat with these guys. I approach a small group of 3 surrounding a campfire. One of them looks to me but says little as he holds his paws up to the flames. You are the elves. Cora and them. I am. Why? I only ask because it's strange. Elves tend to stick to western Melanthea. Well, creatures mostly stay on the eastern side. Creatures are everywhere. The highly elves are too fond of their cities. Eastern Melanthea is all country land. Some farms need their roads and villages from the canyon to Rixlian. Nothing else to it, really. Why are you here? We're looking for some men to join us across Melanthea, if you're interested. We can fight. What's in it for us? Well, I know we've got the ravens, so let's offer them some warm food and better gear rather than actual gold. And we'll see what we roll. So if we don't get it, don't mind. 9. Oh, failed. Warm food, I'm sure Cora get you some better gear too. Doesn't seem worth it to me. Obviously that'll take us down there. I'm kind of low on health potions as well. Then again, more people might mean I get hit less. I'll pay him 15 bucks. 15 gold. Would 15 gold help you out? Sure, I think we can split that. Let us know when you're ready to head out. We'll be with you. Okay, 76 gold left. So we've got the ravens, we've got the mercs. Let's talk to the speaker. Let's speak with the Seeker, if I can even say that line. As I approach the Seeker's tent, I hear Cameyo calling out to me and running up from behind. Hey, Geraint! Oh, sorry, I wanted to ask. I was wondering if Plants could come with us. She and a friend over there looking for a break from her trading. She's a good friend of mine. Sure, why not? Sure. Yes, thank you so much, Geraint. I'll go tell her right away. Plants and a friend join your group. Inside the tent stood the Seeker, the deer by his side, and Kali. The deer approached me swiftly, giving a soft bow with her hand upon her chest. Greetings, Geraint. I am Vaktar, and this is Vodos, Melanthea's Seeker. She softly beckons the Seeker who bows slowly before me. We'll begin when you're ready to speak with the Seeker. I'm unsure what she means as she walks towards the Seeker. She turns to face me as she nears him, standing close to his side. I watch as the Seeker raises his head, his snout revealing the grizzled fur beneath his hood. The silver hairs on his muzzle flicker with the light of the candles in the tent, and his eyes look weary. He seems to have no energy left, as if whatever arcane power he wielded an hour ago has drained him of every bit of strength he had. He raises his paw to Vacta's shoulder as I see the colour in her eyes fade to a milky blue. Her jaw slackens as the voice that is not her own comes from Vacta. Geraint, the lunar night. It is nice to finally speak with you. Do not feel alarmed, as this is how I must speak. Vacta is my voluntary channeler, as I can no longer speak without her. I see now within the slack jaw of the Seeker the scars within his maw. No tongue was visible behind his yellowed fangs. I am proud to know a creature not of our world can wield the powers that be from Aswin and the Divines. You are remarkable, and I wish we could travel together. My age is catching up to me. I am pleased you are here to aid us, as times grow darker every day. Cora is our light, and she is my joy. Protect her among everything else. I can feel within me that Cora will soon be Seeker. I do not know what Queen Lavera has planned for you, but I hope your paths do not divide. I want to tell you. I hear the sands in Esera are changing. And I wanted to tell you before I go a story the Divines told me. They told of our ancestors who crossed the mountains of the Forsaken to the fresh pastures of Melenthia. To make it, they had to cross deserts for Esera, where caverns come and go. Rumours of strange runes and depictions of creatures and beasts were etched in the walls of these caves in a land where no creature was before. Peculiar these tales may be. The etchings were of something never seen. The beasts were that of the fiends, but the creatures did not resemble elf nor human. I say this because we still do not know. But as the quakes continue to shift, new caverns will surely be revealed. Perhaps answers may yet lie among the Esera sands. I hope it may help you in your journey of discovering yourself. Among the talks for Esera, Carly perks the moment Cora and Alikar enter as well. Depictions of strange creatures, you say? Why was I never told of such things? I am surprised and wondering why the Council and Advisory would worry on the curiosities of ancient history. While the Council is my work, history has always been an intriguing subject to me. Alikar stands before us, bowing exorbitantly. Forgive my intrusion, as we are merely walking by, but I could not help but hear there are undiscovered caverns lying in wait within Esera. See, such things even capture the intrigue of a prince as well. Of course, we must go see them then. While I think we should return to Esera, these deeper caverns might be too dangerous. It is far enough away from any fiends, they shouldn't be. After all, just imagine it. What better discovery to be made from the lands of Melenthia than by the heirs of the throne? I see before me as the Seeker slowly shakes his head and withdraws his paw from Vacta. Because then I knew for sure I could see a peculiar glow protruding from under the cloak of his left paw. Her eyes slowly come to as she blinks rapidly, returning herself to the present as the others continue to speak. If we must. It will be good to go. It'll be good to go, as you say you'd like to return to Esera anyways. We can inquire by the fiends there as well, as they probably know more than most. You just can't possibly be ignored now. Alikar raises both his hands in a slight cheer of triumph. Thank you, Geraint, for stopping by. The Seeker wanted me to tell you his appreciation. He thinks highly of you. Thank you. Vacta bows slowly with a soft smile. Please, take care of Cora and the others. She's everything to the Seeker and Melenthia. With that, the rest of us leave the tent and to the edges of camp. Oh, wait. Cora stops. She points to each creature, physically counting the group. Oh, where's Cameyo? Wait, wait! Cameyo sprints to us, nearly out of breath. What is wrong, Cameyo?
I overheard some traders. They talk about Damascus crossing the border.
As much as I fear to say, they always cross the forests.
Yes, they're not keeping just the forests anymore. Some were spotted near an apple.
I was told of that earlier. It's worrisome. It's only a small group, 4, maybe 6 at most. I've already sent word to Lavera.
I'm worried for my little Tal. They go further than Abo, they'll reach Leon. I know there's stories of them ravaging trader carts and homes along the forest side. I don't know what I'd do with myself if they were to harm Tal.
Oh, sweet Cameyo, you need not worry. Leon would be a far place to travel just to harm anyone there. It does make me wonder what they're doing so far north. They're probably scouts or spies at most, and if they are, their motive is reconnaissance over violence. We'll watch them closely.
I get your words are to soothe, but I still worry for Tal. All I ask is we may stop by Leon if we can, so I may check on her.
That is fair to worry, Cameyo. I don't see why we couldn't do that. She pats him on the shoulder. Cora then turns to me as we leave camp. We may have a lot to do, but we have the day to do it. Let's take our time now while we have the chance, Geraint. I think I'm done choosing for now, if you'd like to take over. I have travelled over most of Valentia, so anywhere we go I can continue my duties further. It does not matter where.
I finally get to journey with you, Geraint. What an adventure to be had. Let us be off then.
There are some spots I know they're good for camp, Geraint. Whenever you need to rest or heal, I'll show you where they are. Then we can start new another day.
These moments will give us good time together as well. As entourage grows bigger, we'll need quality time for morale.
Okay, we are trusting Cameyo. She's good. I trust him. Yeah. All I know is the steps I take now I feel to be my own. Save that there. Here we go. So we have our main quests, side quests, places of interest, campsites. Okay. That's that. So, after anything certain order, Melfield main quest. Okay. Okay. That's good. We have an idea of what we're doing. Might want to do the lighter yellows first, just to make it easier. So that's so main quest, side quest. So I think we should go to Leon, just check on how things are there. Yeah, let's do that. I'm literally have not played this. I have no idea where we're going, how things are working, so I'm working this out as I'm recording.
Strange. Tal usually lights the lanterns to let everyone know we're open.
The inn sat quiet before us, the curtains to the windows drawn entirely closed, the lanterns above the door vacant of any flames. Cameyo hesitantly touches his paw to the cold steel handle and slowly pushes the door open with a creak from the rusting hinges. The interior was left entirely vacant of any light. No fireplace or torches were lit. Mayu nearby drew the curtains wide open, letting through the only light in the tavern hall. We follow Cameyo at an easy pace towards something sitting at the other end of the room. Set neatly at the tavern counter was a folded note. An unlit candle sat nearby with the wick entirely burned. The wax melted and hardened along the bottom of the small dish it was placed in. Cameyo, my lovely guardian, I appreciate all you've done for me. You're the light of my childhood. You and Leon have changed my life forever. But I have grown now. I cannot stay and watch the inn forever. You say I'm good at what I do, but it's what you want me to do, not what I wish to do. This isn't my life. And I think this will be best for you too. I am not your tethered Leon in your past. You need to move on as much as I do. I'm doing this for us both. I must move on and start my own life. I love you. Do not worry for me. Tal. I looked at Cameyo, which turns abruptly from view, his face hidden from as he glances down the dark, empty hall. We stood for a moment before Cora approaches his side in consolation. Before she could speak, however, he lightly stepped from her reach. Leave me, please. I'll catch up. I just need a moment. Are you sure, Cameyo? He nods without a word. Cora looks away with a frown. We can wait outside? No, he interjects. I'll catch up. If that is what you wish. While he does not say much, I hope Cameyo will appreciate his stopping in time. There's two more with Cameyo. I like Cameyo. We're going in this direction anyways. I wanted to check on things with Cameyo, so I think we should head over here to Esera and do the main quest thing here. Esera Oasis, otherwise known in Esera, and head here to learn more on the fiends and gather information on near exposed caverns. Look at that view. I'd rather see less hills. Are we not there yet? We walk along the path, near what feels the height of the road to the passage. A small wagon comes down the opposite direction of the path, stopping just as it reaches us. Greetings, travellers. Oh, Your Excellency, I did not see it was you. The fur bows his head to Alaka. Ah yes, thank you. I'm here with Cora and my friends. We are heading towards the passage. Oh, lovely. Make sure you take some supplies with you. Torches are a must. You don't want to lose your way in Toadstool Passage. I don't have much on me currently, but this should help. Oh, we'll need some torches, Geraint. Cora hands me 20 pieces. Your trader has you. Buy health potions while we are kind of down to one. Now, is there anything we can sell? Yeah, I'm using the other sword now. I think I can probably sell this. It's not worth much. I probably won't use it. Sell that. I'm sure I can do this, but okay. There we go. Thank you, and do be careful. 2 torches? Will that be enough, Cora? Remember how many we bought last time. Who bought them last time? Turns around to a guard to look at one another. Fender shrugs alongside them. No fear, I have purchased a torch as well. As any good adventurer would, I've come prepared. Okay, 3 torches. Oh, that's enough. Before we set off the pass, Cameyo catches up to us from behind. Glad to have you back, Cameyo. Everything good?
Not say so. I prefer to talk about it later.
Fair enough. Just let me know if you need anything. Cameyo nods in return with little else for words. As we near the highest peak of the road, a shallow opening to a dark cave lay beyond. Cora and a few others entered without hesitation, leaving the rest of us to uneasily follow behind. Cameyo takes the torch from Anakar, lighting it promptly with 2 flint rocks. The torch sparks easily before being passed to one of the guards to hold.
Let us be off then. Tread carefully in the dark, everyone.
The air was thick within the moisture of the caves. The light from the torch bounced, danced along the stalactites that hung dreadfully from the ceiling. The guard held the torch high, distributing the light best they could for the entire group.
I don't think... Now that's...
Are you good, Cameyo?
I don't think I've ever set foot in a cave before. I don't know if I'm claustrophobic or...
Just try and breathe slowly. This passage has been here for hundreds of years. It stands the test of time.
What?
There was woods.
What?
I smashed my claw on the stupid rock. Did you need to scream for that? Not only is the ground filled with puddles, the path itself be as flat as a tavern's hogshead. I think you need to get your eyes checked. I can see just fine. Oh, great. Now what? You lead the way then, mighty Mayo.
No, I just keep going. Don't be in this tunnel too long.
Meow. What now?
Torch. Yours must be old.
Everyone looks at the torch that flickers lower and lower with each passing second. Oh, quick then, light the other one. Yeah, already? Trader better not have scammed us. I could have his head. I'm sure it was just battle ropes.
Anakar hands over his torch just as the old one starts fluttering out.
Here.
The raven quickly lights a torch, handing it to the guard in front.
2 torches left. Continuing through the dimly lit cave, the path we walked upon led with an unpredictably patchy manner. As the cave begins to open up, I had taken for a good sign. And mistakenly so. To our left is a cold cave wall, but to our right the room opens up into a vast emptiness where I cannot see the other side. The worst part is that while the path we walk upon remains unchanged, the areas that open up reveal a slippery, unguarded cliff edge that curves into the darkness below. Few of us slow in our pacing as we stare into the dark abyss below. It's hard to see, but I can barely make up the glimmering of our torchlight reflecting back at us. At least 40 metres below lies a still water pool. Though the depths of its waters are unknown, sharp and narrow rocks jut up from beneath like menacing spikes from a trap. The narrowing of the path around us made the cliff all the more terrifying, a thought I couldn't shake from my mind. What could once fit 2 whole wagons now barely accommodates a single person?
You guys really take this way to get to Esera?
Yes, we usually leave the wagon near the cave opening, where there is space to park it. Walk isn't too bad, considering we should be more than halfway now.
Oh.
Yeah, what now?
This is what I was afraid of.
What happened?
I can't see.
Oh, don't start stumbling around, you'll fall off.
Looks like quite shook by the ceiling loose. Stalactite fell on our friend holding the torch.
Oh no. What happened to the torch?
Fell in a puddle nearby. It's completely soaked. Please don't tell me it's the last torch.
20. Nice.
We have one left. We're close to Esera. If we just stick to the wall, walk slowly, we should make it okay. The guard lights another one. Amid the darkness, I almost think my eyes were playing tricks on me. That is, until we step close and I can truly see the light near the end of the tunnel. It was faint at first, although it wasn't blinding. We're able to see the walls on both ends of the cave again. The cliff edge now behind us. Before us lies the end of an intersection of cavern tunnels. All of them converge into a grander opening, well lit by light streaming through cracks in the ceiling and refracting off a waterfall that cascades down to the river below. A few elves shuffle around the outskirts, gathering foliage and mushrooms growing about. They hardly paid attention to us, so they can only assume newcomers must come and go quite often to Esera. But the most to catch my eye is the cavern city that lay beyond. Oh, it's nothing like Havenhearth.
Welcome to Esera, the elven oasis.
Oh, thank Aswin, we made it.
As we near the bridge, a small group just leaving Esera comes on the other side. The first in the group, a black leopard with sharp brown eyes, stands before us and speaks.
Ikora, is that you? It is nice to see you again.
Likewise, Jade. What is it you are doing here?
I travel to Abo and Esera often to make sure safety on the roads and everything in between is going smoothly for merchants and the like.
Well, if you plan to head through the passage, do be safe.
No, we need to stop in Outer Esera, so we'll be taking our chance of heat. If you plan to stay in Esera long, stay safe as well. The quakes are getting dreadfully worrisome. No matter how often they say the witch stabilize the sea here, it does not feel comforting. Oh, and if you haven't heard yet, the Eserian prince is missing again. Just a topic to be mindful of, as it is still fresh in mind.
Oh no, really? It's terrible to hear.
Thank you, Jade, and travel safe. The leopard nods, heading down a tunnel opposite the one we came from.
Who was that?
That was Jade, just like Stenmere. She's one of the 3 leaders of Raven's House. I hear she handles more of the political aspects. She's just as deadly as Stenmere. Not to be caught in the path of her blades.
Let us head into town then. We have a lot to do. Alakar, you probably need to see the Eserian Lord, yes?
That is correct. We should probably speak with him.
All right. I know it's been a long trip. Some of you can head to the inn if you prefer. Alakar, if you need me, I'll probably be in the town square performing prayers to the people and the prince. Offender, stay with me.
As long as I don't have to go with Alakar, that is fine. Alakar shoots him a glance but says little as we cross the rickety bridge to the other side. I enter town with Cameyo, Mayo and Soma by my side. The people of Esera shuffled about under the rays of the sun that poked through the cave ceiling. Although dim, the pale material of the buildings reflected the sun and torches well enough to light up every alley within the cave. Like Havenhearth, a wide variety of species walk the streets, and an even larger number of elves among them. The chatter of the people accompanies the constant gurgle of the nearby waterfall, the soft clinking of lantern chains swaying the gentle breeze through the chasm.
A calm, soft breeze brings a soothing chill to the air, something I had not noticed until now. The wide chasm through the cave seems to act as a channel for the air to flow like a vent, carrying with it the smells of crisp water and pungent moss as they waft through the streets of Esera. High above us hung strings of luminescent fungi that lit the ceilings and roofs above the city. It sparkles like a night sky partial to the rays nearby. I can only imagine what it must look like at night. All I know is that I'm here for answers. But it's hard to know who to ask when I hardly know what it is I must ask for. I'll have to look around. Tavern's always a good place to start. We snake our way through the intertwining alleyways of Esera. The streets make little sense, with the steps lead up and down in various directions. Many courtyards are glowing mushrooms at the yards of small homes built atop one another. I could see into one of the homes through a candlelit window, where a lizard creature prepared a meal over its fire. Smoke billows up and out of the chimney, drifting across the blackened residues left on the outskirts from the day before. The smoke then conjoins with that of other evening fires, roaring across the cavern ceiling before dissipating among the flora above that feeds immoderately on the free carbon. We stop outside an unnamed building in a larger alley. Down the street, many linked buildings stand with signs and torches swinging nearby. Yet this one remains unmarked. Is this it?
There's no sign up front.
This is it. This is where Cora and I stayed before. Cameyo pushes open the door, then with a flood of laughter and tankards clanking from within.
Ah, okay.
I had little expectations of the place on the outside. Within was a different story. Although my only point of reference was the inn from Havenhearth, this place felt just as cosy. Nearly every table was taken, and a loud group of female elves danced and hollered about the chipper tunes of the bard in the corner. Inside my first modern building of Esera, I was able to glean the details of the walls. They were all smooth, with no layers of bricks or wood visible. The points where the wall met the ceiling melted together, forming a soft spherical shape to the corners. The paint, or clay of sorts from what I could tell, was smothered and smeared across, leaving behind trails of fingers, swirls and splotches. The floor beneath my feet was hard with rock. The farther we got into the tavern, the smooth wall to my left met up with the cavern wall in front of me. It was here, parts of the rock were carved out to a makeshift table and bench, where we found our first open spot among the entire tavern. While the others find their spots around the table, Cameyo stays standing. I'm going to get a mug. Cameyo, want one?
Oh yes, always.
A large grin slips across his muzzle.
If only one day Leon could be just as lively as this place.
Oh, you never know.
What a bard. I could have a bard show and regulars too. I'd love regulars, not just the weary travellers who come to sleep and go. Hardly a mug of brew ever gets touched.
Once Leon grows, so will your inn.
Well, one can only dream, Geraint.
You never know.
Oh, true. I guess anything can be possible, eh?
Nice. Where'd you get your ale?
Well, I get my drinks from a small farm and brewery in Avo.
It reminds me how slow my business is going each and every time he tries to tell me another hogshead of ale.
I know it's intended. Well, I can hardly get through a single cask in a fortnight once it's been opened.
Let's go with this fish. Do you know anyone in Esera who can help us?
What do you mean?
I was guided by the Seeker to find these new caves found here in Esera. Oh, good luck with that. I interrupts, jumping into the conversation, slamming down mugs for everyone. She leans her back against the cavern wall, dividing her attention among her conversation and observations around the tavern. Curious to the taste, I reach for one of the mugs. I hold it to my nose, receiving fruity ester scents mixed with a bold, earthly aroma. The taste was even better than the smell. Cameyo takes a large swig of his ale. A strange purse from his lips, he looks down at the tankard.
I think I see why they call this place the Sweet Root. What's in this?
Oh, that I know. Someone mentions the composed man as swishing a mug in his paw. The sap harvested from the veins of the basalt rocks, one of several delicacies familiar only to Esera.
Rock? Sap?
Yep, although it's not actually from the rock itself, but what they carve from behind it. There's nectar less crushed from the old world tree roots beneath the ground. It slowly seeps up behind the basalts with time. So, quite literally, a nectar of the gods.
I'm not much fond of the sweetness. I have the brews I get from Abo, but they're nothing like this.
Geraint is drinking juice squeezed from a dying tree. Lots of foods are not quite what they seem to be when you look at how they're processed. Rock sap has all the purpose. The tonics to make it edible are boiled thrice over to evaporate any toxins. Yeah. He sets a mug down, patting someone on the head. I think I'm going to take a walk around.
How do you know so much about Esera?
It's not so much about Esera, but their food. I have a passion for drinks since we had a winery when I was growing up. But beyond that, I know places with great food. And it just so happens the Sweet Root Inn is my go-to in Esera.
I think we should hang more often. I love food. I've been to Cameyo yet.
Yes, and hopefully again soon.
I hear they have great cooks there.
That's exactly why we must go. Someone chuckles just as Mayo's returning from a quick walk. Anything? No one wants to open up about the caves. I'm really sure what else to do. Maybe we'll have better luck with the Eserian Lord. Maybe. Let's head out then. Walking into the keep felt more like an elven temple than a throne room. Every foot of the place was lit with candles, dancing light across the many panels of stained glass. The room was wide, and so tall I could barely see the top, with a shallow square pool that fit the centre of the room. Elegant statues of elven beings adorned the sides, with tablets of writing on the pedestals beneath them. The voices of Alucard, Kali and the others echoed from the other end of the room.
We all think on it, Kali. We have little troops here to support even ourselves, let alone out to Esera. In Esera is safe here in the depths of the caves, or you're well hidden from sand demons. Without Esera on the outskirts of the desert, we have to position most of our creatures there.
This is fully understandable, Lord.
But if we learn anything new about these demons, we'll inform you alongside Raven's Hollow. Oh, who is this that approaches?
Ah, the human. Valenthia's newest knight. Welcome.
Please excuse my casual presentation. My time seems past that of needs and formality. In my age, I seek only the pleasures in comfort and peace of mind.
Greetings.
You shall find brisk respite on Esera, that I guarantee. Ah, yes, the caves. Topics of every outsider. It was my son, the prince, who discovered our newest one. That must also be the reason others found out so quickly about it. Huh? He just can't seem to keep his mouth shut for at least a week. Since you're here and the cat is right out of the bag, I guess I should tell you. As you may or may not know, Esera has a knack for quakes, more than any region. But this is the first to reveal the entrance to another temple, or what you refer to as a cave. Crevices and the like lead into small rooms and huts are rather quite common, but this, we just don't know yet.
If we can, I wouldn't mind taking a look at this temple.
No. We have plenty of time to see to it ourselves.
Perhaps we can offer help in exchange. We have many sources throughout Melenthia. We could warrant a search party of the prince. Something we should have done already, Lord.
Search party? For the prince? The Lord leans his head back, cackling the thought. Zane, the worst of all my children. A nuisance whom I love, but a nuisance nonetheless. I always find doubt in these rumours, as this so often happens. Why is he not gallivanting along the countryside for woman or trouble? I cannot raise the castle and all her people each time he wants to run away. I decide to stay silent and let him talk it out. With what he's worth, we still keep our eyes out for him. Is anything else could be done for you? I appreciate, but I fear not for my son. This is how I stay sane in my age, but this is neither the first nor the last he has done this. But there's always something that needs attending to. Later we found out someone has been stealing from our repositories. Over the years, these were always in smaller amounts, so we tossed the figures to inventory loss. A few mushrooms here, some rocks up there. But now a shipment of our weapons meant for Raven's Hollow has vanished, in its entirety.
How much was the shipment worth? Do you have any leads?
What do you mean, how much? Enough for me to slit some throats, I'll have you know. Those are fine Eserian blades, and yours for that metal isn't easy to come by.
No leads?
The Lord audibly sighs, shaking his head. He seemed more distraught over the loss of weapons than his own son. I don't know if he's following a path of peace of mind very well.
I think surely we can find leads on our own. We'll do what we can for those under Melenthia's wing.
Oh, thank you. Some sense that I can understand, for once.
You've had the temples. If we get some possible direction of these sites, we won't touch anything. Perhaps we could offer assistance. Your mage's studying them.
The Lord ponders for hardly a second, closing his eyes and shaking his head once more. That will not do. I trade only with results.
Carly scoffs under his breath. This isn't a barter, but allies should support.
What was that?
I said, I see, Your Highness. We can support you. If we come across any information, any leads, or the culprits themselves, I'll bring them to your doorstep myself for justice. The thief steals from Esera. They are thieves of Melenthia as well.
Carly adjusts his monocle, tilting his head in acknowledgement.
We'll give you leisure in the absence of our presence, Lord. Our journey was long, and I'm looking forward to the hospitality of a quiet Eserian library.
Good. If you'd like to stay, the Sweet Root has plenty of rooms. Tell them to house you and your men free of charge, or they will be speaking with me.
Kind of you, Lord.
We take our leave, passing by an altar near the entranceway. She held her short arms crossed, a half-cocked smile on her lips. So unsure how long she was in the room, her looks did not seem to be for the Lord of Esera.
How do we go about finding a lost shipment? It's simple, really. We don't.
Oh, wait, what?
Barley rolls his head back, stretches his neck in the appearance of annoyance. If the Lord of Esera himself wishes not to assist for the betterment of Melenthia, why should we not reciprocate with like-minded energy? In the hands of Haven, these temples could hold answers to the fiends or answer our history, anything, yet he wishes to gatekeep. As a prince, and soon to be king myself, I can understand the precautions of his land. It may state my principles for lack of morality. I'll honour what I said. If we come across any of these with shipments, he'll be the first to know. I feel there's still room to not help. Look, beyond silly side missions, there's plenty of other titles you've taken at the Lunar Knight. Knight has high duties with higher risk for reason. But I like you, Geraint. You have honour. If we find out anything, I'll make sure to tell him.
These temples aren't sacred, right?
Oh, Aswin's like, no. Everyone Melenthia most beyond that shares similar belief as with the gods and the origins. Nothing in our texts say of temples and ruins, especially east of the Forsaken in the middle of Tavnor. Whatever the case may be, it is memoirs over theology. For now, we will not waste precious time on a manhunt fit for wardens and guards. We can seek other insights into these temples. I will, of course, honour these spots as any true historian would. Okay. So, essentially, better ask for forgiveness than permission. Indeed, I think it is time we go off to the library. Are you with me, Alika? Tempting, but I think I prefer the comforts of a warm bed than the book right now. All is fair, Alika. I'll see you two tomorrow.
So, what now?
I know such luck at the tavern nor the Lord. I don't know. I'm with Alika. I am beat. Let's just head back to the tavern. We can call it a night and find something out tomorrow. We head through the streets back to the sweet route. Every moment or so I couldn't cut the feeling like I was being watched. I turned around but saw no one in the corners or the street. The tavern was just as lively as we had left it, and all the sweet aromas of a happy pub filled my senses.
Oh, one more drink?
Sure. Get me in the mood for some warm sheets after. I think I'd rather sleep. See you guys tomorrow.
Though I wasn't quite sure I wanted to stick with, Mayo began walking to the stairs where I could join her. I was a little tired, but I guess I'll sit with Cameyo and Soma for a bit. Once we sat back down, I got that feeling I was being watched again. I turned my head to notice the otter from the Lord's Hall leaning against one of the wooden pillars. Her eyes were on me, and it was when I noticed this that she immediately approached.
You were asking about caves?
Soma tilted his head, narrowing his eyes onto the otter. Who's asking?
You guys. You guys were asking about them.
I think he means who's asking about asking. Wait, no. The otter rolls her eyes.
If you don't want to hear what I have to say, I don't need to be here.
She starts turning, but I blurt out to stop her. Oh wait, I saw you in the Lord's Hall.
Who are you? Let's just say I'm a friend of the one with all the answers. Unlike our Lord, I am not as dense. I'm eager to make trades when it benefits both parties.
What do you want?
A deal. Nothing crazy, but I figured I'll step in before you go asking the wrong people and getting yourselves hurt. But I also need to know if you can be trusted. How about a friendly game of dice?
How is that going to tell if I can be trusted?
You asking that tells me what I need to know. So, do you want to know or not?
Sure. What game?
My favourite is Black Mage. Quick, simple fun. 5 rounds to the person closer to 21 wins. Okay, that makes sense. So 21. Okay. Yeah, let us roll. So this is good. Let's just one more of those again. Stuck there. Oh, I see it. Okay. I need to sit over here because the arm of my My microphone stand is actually blocking part of what I'm looking at here. Let's see. 17. Let's finish there. I think that's close enough. One each row. Let's hold that one there. Ooh, a draw. Nice. Should roll again for that. 19. Finish there. Let's risk it. Oh. It's worth a chance though. So we're still equal, 2 runs each. If I roll again, I'm probably going to get less than that. Okay, so 3 rounds against 2. Let's roll 7, 11, 17. I think we'll finish there. Long time since he's this many 6-siders. Okay, that's a good shot. Okay. That's finished. We won anyway. Hey, we won the game. Oh, nice. One more. Yes. I didn't say you had to win now, did I? For the first time I noticed the otter's shrouded face crack a joyful smile. Her name's Linra, by the way. That was a fun game, thank you. Although you are quite somber, I can see why others find you trustworthy. So what is it you want in exchange for this temple location? 1,000 gold. What? Anyone would be a fool to pay that. We could just walk the caves and find it at that rate.
Even kingdoms being founded with less.
Oh, really? I'd have figured that someone who travels with the Prince of Haven had this trusted noble would have such coin.
I don't have that much.
Try there's something else.
The otter tilts her head as she ponders.
Well, I'm not too picky. What do you have to offer?
I look to Summer and Cameyo, both shrug.
Tell you what, I feel I've been nice today. Give me your word, if the time ever comes we need the assistance for night, that you'll aid me. I help you, you help me. Depends on the deeds. I must prefer life and reserve positions alongside Melenthia. Don't expect us to jump for the circumstance of your wrongdoings, do you? I know, but never. Just your honest type of work. Say an escort or something to cross Melenthia. Or something. I don't know yet. Just thinking of things, you know. We don't need an escort. I mean, I don't really know anyone important enough to, that is. I pondered for a bit if she could end up asking for anything. I really want to see this temple for myself too. I feel like it wouldn't hurt. If she has anything too absurd, I don't feel like I have to honour it. I gave you my word. Sweet. Things could have to go through, and with it being quite late, I'd rather head out tomorrow. Meet you here tomorrow evening. I'll take you guys there.
Want earlier in the morning?
Look, I'm already helping you. I don't think I need to ruin a good morning's sleep for that too.
Fair. Well, I'm gonna head up to bed. Well, I think I got my fair share tonight.
Just head to bed as well.
The entire night slipped away as I'm startled awake by sudden knocking at my door.
Hey,
Carly shouts aggressively from the hallway.
come on now, let's not be late. I'll leave you behind, I will.
Okay, I'm up. Sheesh. I slowly sit up, slumping over myself in sleepy confusion. What time is it? Is it noon or morning still? The cave is messing me up. Heading downstairs, I see the whole crew together and ready for an expedition. The light beyond the window seeps through, clearly showing I'd slept well beyond morning. I don't know how I even managed to sleep until noon. I let Cora know about our plans, and she made sure to tell everyone. I nod, rubbing the fatigue out of my eyes.
All right, you guys ready to head out? It's a bit of a walk. The more light the merrier too, if you have an extra torch.
Someone pulls out the half-used torch I had from entering Esera the other day.
Oh, sweet. You guys do have one. Just don't want to get caught in the dark. Talk of the town is someone was found dead in the cave pools again. Practically split in two by a spike. Yikes. Don't worry. Where we're going isn't as dangerous. The worst part is getting lost.
She started unravelling a small paper from her bag while I followed her out of town.
Alright, so...
She looks down at a hand-drawn map.
If we go straight from Esera, there should be two lefts, straight again through a junction, right, left, then two rights, and a left. Then we'll almost be there. Don't worry, we've mapped it out pretty good. I've been dying to show someone literally since we found it. It's like a treasure hunt. Yeah. Wait, you said we. Who is we? Not as Sarah said Prince Zane had found it. He's currently missing, I might add.
Carly stops the party in its tracks and slowly turns to the altar. He looks down to his hand, clicking his talons together before raising an eyebrow back up at her.
Where's he now? Oh, I don't know.
Where is he? Carly slammed the altar into the cavern wall, glaring down at her.
Whoa, what's going on? Dude, what the hell? I don't know where he went. He does this all the time. Cora, as you know, the prince is missing.
Carly clenches his talons into the altar's fur.
If he knows anything, she'll be taken in for questioning. But she doesn't. She's taken us where we need to go now. You said yourself we don't need to help him, Carly. I'm friends with the prince. Ask anybody he knows. He does this. I have no reason to hide it. What do you mean? Where does he go when he disappears? Anywhere that's not here. Old Castle, sometimes Raven's Hollow. What's in Old Castle? Carly, you need to relax. Linra's been nothing but kind to us. The least we can do is believe her. For now.
Carly, I'm a good judge of character, and Linra seems fair. Besides, not only is knowing a prince not a crime, she's helping us.
Fine, I don't need to say anything, he scorns. But it better not come back on me. Look, he doesn't give me any warnings. While he's friends with a few of us, he does this every time. He doesn't tell a single person. You can ask anyone. You're fine, Linra. Thank you. She brushes herself off, walking the distance from Carly the rest of the way. The tunnel we walked through began to thin. Half the party walked far ahead before Linra called out to everyone. It's here. We turned around to see her standing by a boulder that hardly stood out among all the rubble and rock everywhere else. Behind her revealed a crack in the walls, angled just so. I didn't even notice it in the torchlights we passed. With how small the crevice was, we had to shuffle in one at a time. Ahead of us, the cave opened back up to the space within. We entered into a large, curved hallway that went in either direction. Our footsteps echoed between the walls. I observed the old stone bricks. Every few metres, 2 pillars created an archway over a small corridor. A single step led up to these corridors, and only ever faced to our left, while the pillars to our right ended old cavern walls, with the occasional shelf or chair carved into it. Many torches already lit within the chamber, as if someone else was already here. We only passed a few of these small rooms, but they all were the same. Bricks lined either side, the centre always ended abruptly with a smooth stone wall, marked entirely with etchings and diagrams. Eventually Linra stopped, and Annika was able to step up into one of the corridors to observe some of the markings. This is incredible. Just as he stepped away, I could hear steps from down the hall. What are all these? Carly looked towards us, then the otter. She shrugged overly sarcastically just to make sure he'd noticed her intent. Just down the hall from us, 3 mage-like creatures approached us, dressed in long robes and hoods. Dang it, Lord Esera's men. Everyone's going to know. A lively group here, the first one says to us. He stood tall, holding a tablet of some kind close to him. This temple is property of Esera. I'm the head of council from Havenhearth. I'm with Prince Alikar the Lunar Knight. We're here on behalf of Malenthia and wish no disturbance to the history here. Ah yes, the Hawk Kali. Wow. It's nice to finally meet with both you and Alikar. It's our pleasure then to show you what we found so far. In this way, please. I assume the Lord had told you where to find the temple? Unfortunately, he was not much of assistance. I actually found it myself. Okay. We walked for a while down the hall that continued to an ending bend, passing numerous pillars and corridors along the way. There was a peculiar carved and painted shape every few corridors that I began to notice in its repetition. The shape was like that of a sun, with remnants of old eyes that have long since faded with time. We stopped at one of these carvings, where the centre was slightly different than the rest. While the other had a flat, plain surface at the centre, this one had been replaced with a stone disc of gold and amber hues that matched the sun more closely. I would like to know, what's it you're here for exactly? To my surprise, this Cora would speak up. We are the descendants of peculiar times. All we could find you could be treasuring to those who want to learn more. I'm the devout follower of Aswin, as anyone who would be would recognise these symbols be that of her. We look to honour any wishes Esera has with these temples, as long as we can be a part of what we might discover here. We'll assist in any way, as any history is a part of Esera is a part of Malenthia. It is understandable, at least to me. Who really knows what the Lord is thinking on any given day? Let me tell you what we've figured out so far. We suspect these corridors lead somewhere. The hallway here, in fact, tracing the entire circle. I feel something has to lie within its centre. There are 2 discs at the entrance, one of which we fit into this sunstone here on the wall. It twisted and locked into place with a loud thud that came from behind it. It only seemed to be a mechanism of some kind, with a puzzle of sorts that opens it. The idea behind it relating to numbers and letters in reference to the gods. How did you find all this out? The disc fit into the centre of the sun. We think it represents not only Aswin, but the shape of the ruins as well. There are 8 possible corridors leading to the centre, or so we think. Each one is labelled near the sun with a letter. A, B, C, D, E, F, G and H. After many hours and several days, we finally got the first disc in. It starts with the letter of the corridor and 3 number combinations etched into the stone to only work in a specific combination. The centre of the sun opened up, revealing a slot for our disc, which is essentially a sort of key. We're just about to try the second one, but if you can assist us, that would be helpful. So there's just one disc left. The first one fit here. Incorrect. We know the corridors are lettered and think they represent some of the gods. So for the first one we guessed A for Aswin. And 3 numbers we put was 177. 1 corresponding to the first letter A, 7 corresponding to the universal number Aswin, and we guessed the last one. Surprised all of us that it worked. We'll stay here and try to study this corridor more. Oh, before you go. There's a written passage that might help. It's etched in a weird language. Beside it seems someone rewrote it in a more modern tongue. A few words are ineligible, but I'll read as best I can to you. Two worlds, cut half, as above, below. Of day is night, of Newayothea, Aswin's light. 8 channels, only one right. Now, I actually did this yesterday, and for some reason it didn't record, so I'm just repeating myself. I did ask a lot more questions, but because I'm trying to get this done, I'm going to skip ahead. This shouldn't be too hard. Did most of the work for us.
So what corridor do we go to next?
We go to closed dip. We'll go to corridor D for Decaeum. I approached the first corridor curiously. Numerals were etched into individual stones which sat jutting from the wall behind. These are the numbers the elves used to initiate some kind of mechanism behind the wall. It worked. It took me a while to figure this one out beforehand. I'm just speeding through this because, again, I did all this yesterday.
What is that?
It looks like the empty slot. Place the disc in it, Geraint. Once the sun mechanism locked into place, the smooth wall before us creaked and shook before slowly dropping to a crack below. Mages were right. Beyond the wall that now fit level of the floor was but a long narrow corridor of steps leading straight down to the dark depths below.
Oh, great.
Before we could head down, the mages approach. You got it. He grabbed a torch from the wall and stood before the steps. Ready?
You can head first.
The bunny shrugged, leading the way. The steps were narrow, leaving only enough room to fit single file as we trudged amidst the flickering light of only a few torches. Our steps echoed easily as Cameyo's heavy breathing overtook the sounds of everyone else. Thankfully, the knees did not last. We set foot in a vast cavern, as large if not larger than the one that housed the entirety of Esera. The first factors to appear to me, aside from the vast space of the cavern, was the over-engrossing awe of the ancient structures before me. Far above all of us, the cave narrowed to an opening, letting in a strong beam of daylight. In the centre of the opening, almost intentionally composed, was the shape of the moon far above, hanging with an odd lustre in the afternoon sun and clouds. After a short walk among the rocks and dirt, we immediately was in the centre of the ruin. Several slabs of pillars surround us on either side, all of them smothered in diagrams and depictions. What, though? I cannot tell. What all do they mean? The Eserian mage turned abruptly to his accomplice. Head back to Esera and let the Lord know the temple has been opened. He'll want to see this. The other creature nodded, briskly leaving. Alakar looked at Kali with slight worry. Kali gives but a soft shake of his head. He allows the remaining mages to step farther into the ruins before speaking. If the Lord asks, will you tell him we found you by accident? We have no correlations with the otter and the prince. He glares over the otter, crosses her arms and scoffs on cue. Most of us stay together and explore the ruins and the pillars. Approaching one such pillar, I could see gorgeous, fragmented slivers painted and adhered with engraved patterns. Depictions of planets and figures covered every visible inch. The fragments are gorgeous. Are they gems? This... Earthia? Cora points to a sphere with the sketches of a large island, completely surrounded by hues of faded blue. Sort of looks like Tavnor. It has to be. Kali ran his fingers across the sketches. Every sphere sat within its own small ring, each ring encircled the centre sphere. In that centre sat the same sun design of Aswin, glistening in the light of our torches from bronze and gold flakes. It definitely is, Kali reassures himself, trailing his finger from Aswin to Earthia. Sitting in between the two was Newa. This would explain the eclipse we see every day, but Newa... With chill-inducing unison, Kali's fingers traced over Newa as he whispered his name. The ruins around us darkened, even only the torches beside us for light. Everyone but Mayu's face was lost to me, as I noted her cross her arms in a visible shudder. We stepped back and everyone looked at the opening above, as the afternoon sun grazed by the moon that very moment. Creepy! Benjo trembles. No thanks, I'm done. Someone waved his paw over the ruins as a whole. I'll wait by the stairs. You guys touch whatever you want. Near the eclipse is passing, and at first light, every fragment along the ruin glistened at its peak, as if looking upon a desert horizon. I was nearly blinded as I covered my eyes. My body trembled, as I was touching the roots of the divine yet again. The feeling of the light passed as quick as it came. Kali let an audible sigh, unnerved as much as the others. As I was saying, I wanted to point out Newa. Cora, you see? It's huge. Is it even a moon? It's as big as the others. Beside me, Alakar left to observe one of the other pillars. A planet like Earthia, Cora whispered. Mere moments passed, and Alakar sharply turned around in awe. These fragments are not gems. They're shattered tree tears. They cover every pillar. This whole temple is a place of power. But for what purpose? Cora turned to the pillar beside her, placing her palm gently across the grooves in stone. She closes her eyes, breathing in deeply. Look for books if you can. Tomes, perhaps. Please, don't break anything. I think you should leave the temple. If it is to be studied, it can be done so here. Everyone took their own initiative, curiously exploring the ruin. I glanced around as well, noticing each pillar appeared to depict different drawings. I see Kali approaching a stone pedestal at the far end of the ruin, near the temple windows that overlooked the cavern beyond. The mage stood between two pillars, observing something. This pillar looks similar to the first one we looked at, with both Newa and Earthia depicted in 3 different sequences, running down the length of the pillar like an old parchment scroll. The first image appeared normal, with the moon distant from Earthia. Next to that was a sketch of a valley with mountains beyond and the sun behind it. Nothing appeared abnormal. In the second image, Newa appeared tilted towards Earthia, with lines drawn connecting the two. It was hard to make out, and it looked like chicken scratch at best. Next to this depiction was an image of what I could only guess were the fiends. Bone-ridden fanged beasts erupted from the ground. The mountain was no longer seen beyond the valley. In the last image, Earthia and Newa were drawn close, scratches and lines drawn hastily between them. At least that's how it appeared. The lines had no clear design or implication for it. Near that image was the valley filled with a dozen more fiends. Opposite of the fiends stood a row of creatures with weapons raised. They wore something on their head that could only assume looked like a helmet that didn't quite match the body underneath. The heads represented what looked like elves with longer but thinner ears that fit within the helmet. Interesting. I didn't see Alucard standing slightly behind me. He's looking at the elf-like beings alongside me, or offered little else in word to it. I almost wonder, he thinks aloud, the signs of these worlds are not meant to correspond. Maybe they're not drawn to scale with each other. What do you mean? I wonder if the size is not meant to be accurate, but only represents something, like a mountain range drawn on a map. It is not drawn to scale. Surely Aswin is much larger than she is on the other pillar, no? Either way, I find it intriguing. I nod, looking over the pillar once more before turning to the rest of the ruin. I approach the pillars we looked at earlier, running my fingertips across the shattered tree tiers. I expected the touch of something cold and damp, was surprised by warmth out of a stone that sat for hours in direct sunlight. The sketch in the pillars was of the gods that circled one another, with writing in an elven language I could not read. As I near, I see the mages carefully picking up a stone tablet from a shelf and observing it. Do you happen to know the elven tongue? I shake my head. Well, it's not spoken much different from you or I. The written tongue is a bit diverging. What I find bewildering is this writing looks to be that of Elven, yet vastly different still. It can make up maybe a word per sentence, which is hardly efficient to any understanding of this. An ancient tongue, then? What's so weird about that? Well, it's illogical. It doesn't make sense. Creature kind and elves alike originated from the Forsaken. It's only a little over 1,000 years that we migrated over the mountains to the rest of Tavnor. These are elven-like ruins, but could not have been made by elves. If that is true, where are the creatures that constructed these ruins? What happened to them? There's still so much for us to know. This temple should help us learn further. It will just take some time. Carly stood transfixed on the stone and walls around the base of the pedestal, seemed more enthralled by the drawings than anyone else. See something interesting? I find all of this interesting. I'm sure the others do as well. He points some drawings at the base of which, like the other pillars, show the planets once more, but in a smaller diagram. It's like the stories we told to us of Aswin, the creation of the gods, and our creation. He points to Newa, where lines were drawn coming off the planet once more, with the fiends and the elf-like creatures. Look here, this. Creature all looks like full metal armor. No? The design makes me assume they were just as advanced as we are, if not more so. Carly points to a word over the creatures. Sentinel. Is that what it says? Yes, I believe so. How can you tell? There are 3 other lines above it, each one word, and they all look similar. I can only read the last one. Sentinel. I almost wonder if the other words are a different language, or perhaps a different way to say what they are. I assume these armored creatures are the Sentinels. You can read Elven. It is the most I study. I'm in Haven with nothing else to do. The Elven tongue and their history intrigue me, as their race was large and more varied for the Damascene Divide. We both look back to the drawings. In the end of the portrait, next to the line of Sentinels, was a sequence of shapes and symbols that match what was engraved upon the pedestal. Carly placed his hand over the edge of the pedestal that stood about waist high, with a flat surface that sat angled towards us. 2 slots were dug deep into the centre of the stone, with grooves etched in a snaking pattern along the entire stone in the shape of a rune. The grooves spiralled and were too thin for even my finger to fit. The lines within were stained dark with residue. Each individual groove led towards the edge of the pedestal, where it met one of 8 slots. Each one was carved in the shape of a tree tier, but I could not tell the 2 separate contours made within the very centre. Whatever this is, it should be a reaction to the fiends and the planets, a piece to a story I only slightly know. It must be a plan or a blueprint to an answer. Either way, it's a secret I hope to uncover. As we know it is here, we have the time to study it. Let's be more like this throughout Esera. There's no way one this big is the only one. We take the time and our awe to glance throughout the ruin once more before we gather back together. Now, where did the otter go? We all look to each other and scan the room. None of us realised until now she had disappeared. Of course, he groans. With slight concern, I notice the majors scatter to check the corners of the ruin as they start carefully assembling the tablets lying around. I hope to return in the near future, alongside the majors of Havenhearth. I'm sure they'll be able to offer plenty of help in the research here. I agree, although I'm not sure if the Queen will allow me to return as well, despite how badly I'd like to do so. With that, we start our journey back to Esera. It's not until we climb the steps to the temple entrance that Cameyo turned around in worry.
Huh? If the otter has left, how do we get back?
With sudden worry seeping in, I see Carly point to a sheet of paper on the floor not far off. With Soma close to it, he reaches down to pick it up. Well, this is probably the map. We'll find the way just fine. He turns it to show us. I wonder if she's in a hurry and perhaps she dropped it. I hope she did not take anything. If that is the case, then she should be reprimanded. Not much we can do about it now, though. Best return to Esera, as there's much for us to do still. So, that's where we're going to end it today. My original plan was to do the whole of Chapter 3 in one video, but as I just had to redo a big chunk because I didn't record yesterday. So I'm going to leave it here, and we're going to carry on Chapter 3 and whole of Chapter 4 in the next video, which will be the end of December. So that works for everyone. It wasn't my plan, but technical issues with OBS again. But I'm definitely wanting to see what's going on with this one. And we have 8 chapters in all, so there'll be more episodes than that because I know I'm going to be breaking Chapter 8 into 2. I just have to say, if anything bad happens to Cameyo by the end of the game, I will do such things. What they are yet, I know not, but they shall be the terrors of the earth. He's the best character in this. Speaking of characters, we've seen Jagger again on Saturday, because we're back with Spectrum of Hybrids. I hope to do some more Minotaur Hotel, and the December schedule isn't really set, but also Cameyo has just come out, so I'll be working on that once the public build comes out. We're back to Cameyo. And also Sanctuary will be getting a new patron build in a few days. I believe towards the end of the month there'll be a public build, so we'll be seeing Sanctuary for them as well. So that's a few things to look forward to, as well as my somewhat now traditional ghost story for Christmas. But before we go, I always want to say thank you to all my donors on Ko-fi and Patreon. You are very, very much appreciated. And my top patrons are Omar, Rafu, Spiderling, Samuto, Tiger Cub, Aramaturasu, Helpers Need Coffee, Addy Bear, Koob, Andy Peng, Aaron Fox, Bastian, Yeka, Brian Hall, Cobus Visser, Dissonance, Zigzag, Briz, Harvest Mouse Productions, Aile Korvar, Evan King, Kartek, Matt Kenya, Mary Cervantes, and Mohammed Al-Sana. Special thanks to all of you, and thank you for watching. Until next time, bye for now.